Three major bombshells just dropped that everyone should be talking about right now, Michael Snyder reports. The past couple of weeks have truly been historic. Take a moment and just consider some of the major events that we have witnessed. Donald Trump in Pennsylvania, Joe Biden dropping out of the race, Kamala Harris quickly became the new presumptive nominee, and it's hard to remember a time when so much has happened in such a short period of time. And now more bombshells have dropped, but because so much else is going on, they're not getting the attention that they deserve. The following three are major bombshells that everyone should be talking about right now. Number one, it appears that Joe Biden has some sort of medical emergency while he was in Las Vegas last week. A Las Vegas hospital was on standby after being alerted about a possible medical issue with President Joe Biden Wednesday afternoon while he was visiting southern Nevada. Law enforcement and medical teams gathered outside the University Medical Center trauma room entrance on Wellness Way in case of the President of the United States arriving after he canceled an appearance at the Unidos U.S. convention in Las Vegas due to testing positive for COVID-19. Unidos U.S. President and CEO Janet Murguia made the announcement to attendees who were waiting to hear the president speak. You don't rush someone to the hospital because of COVID. Something else was clearly going on. The hospital that was put on alert is, quote, the only level 1 trauma center in Nevada, end quote. Due to the hospital being the only level 1 trauma center in Nevada, it's where the president will go during a medical emergency. Van Houweling said the hospital was alerted around 2:15 p.m. about a possible medical issue with the president. Why didn't the big news networks make a big deal about this? Apparently, hundreds of Las Vegas metropolitan officers heard the emergency orders that were issued. Several law enforcement officers on duty that day were informed over the radio that the president was dealing with an unspecified medical emergency. Far from a case of the sniffles, this was sent out on encrypted police airwaves as if something akin to a 5-alarm fire had broken out. Our sources estimate that it was easily hundreds of Las Vegas metropolitan officers and employees who heard the broadcasts live, so a curious media should not have a problem reporting any follow-ups to the story. The dispatches made clear that this was much more than a mere chance of plans because it set into motion so much of their on-duty emergency response apparatus. Radio dispatchers' response for coordinating with the president's detail requested an immediate surge of law enforcement resources into the area, both to secure the vicinity and to expedite the president's movement. Ultimately, Biden must have improved significantly because he did not end up going to the hospital. Instead, he was taken to the airport where he departed on Air Force One. According to a reporter that was on the plane, Air Force One flew so fast the plane shook. The Daily's Mail's Emily Gooden posted last Wednesday night, after Air Force One landed in Delaware, POTUS arrives in Dover. I'm doing well, he said. Flight time from Vegas was 3 hours 45 minutes. Air Force One flew so fast the plane shook. Travel Math has normal Vegas to Dover time in 4 hours 50 minutes. Oh, so they made up an hour. You can imagine how fast it was going. It's obvious that something happened in Las Vegas and it's being hushed up. Could this medical emergency have played a role in Biden's decision to suddenly exit the race? Number two, the Oversight Project, a watchdog group that is part of the Heritage Foundation, has uncovered some absolutely stunning information. Their analysis of phone data has revealed that someone that was regularly at the home where Thomas Matthew Crooks lived also visited a building in Washington, D.C. that's located very close to the FBI office. So who visited Thomas Crooks' home before the Trump shooting? Mobile and data analysis reveals someone who regularly visited Crooks' Pennsylvania home also visited a building in D.C. near the FBI office. An FBI office. Many people do not realize that our phones are constantly gathering data on all of us. In this case, phone data can be a key to determining why Crooks did what he did. According to the Oversight Project, there were 9 phones that were located at Crook's home and worked within the last year. The Oversight Project identified 9 devices linked to ADIDs that were located at Crook's home and worked within the last year. Per the Heritage Foundation Oversight Project, we found the connections through our in-depth analysis of mobile ad data to track movements of Crooks and his associates. To do this, we tracked devices that regularly visited both Crooks' home and place of work and followed them, the Oversight Project said. One of the phones made a trip to Washington, so who owned that phone? And who did that person meet with in Washington? We definitely need answers to those questions. 3, it has been determined that one of the alien mummies, quote unquote, that had been discovered in Peru has fingerprints that are not human. Bizarre diagonal grooves along the fingerprints and toes of one of Peru's eerie, hotly debated alien mummies, quote unquote, points to a non-human origin for these odd remains. Worldwide controversy has followed the smaller peculiar specimens since September, when veteran broadcaster, journalist, and prolific UFO researcher Jamie Maussan first presented 2 alleged alien corpses to Mexico's Congress last year, the corpses from Peru. The man that examined the fingers of this alien mummy is actually a defense attorney that once worked as a prosecutor in Colorado. Now, DailyMail.com has spoken to a former Colorado prosecutor and current defense attorney who has examined one of the over half a dozen alien specimens with the help of 3 independent forensic medical examiners from the United States. These were not traditional human fingerprint patterns that attorney Joshua McDonald told Daily Mail. This guy sounds quite credible, and the Daily Mail has posted a photo of the bizarre fingerprints on this alien mummy. If this creature and the other alien mummies that have been discovered are not human, then what are they? As I detailed in my latest book, I believe that the stage is being set for a great deception that will shake the entire world. Of course, the truth is that deception is already everywhere around us. We are not being told the truth about Biden. We're not being told the truth about Trump, what happened in Pennsylvania, and there are hundreds of other things that we are not being told the truth about. George Orwell once warned us that in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Sadly, Orwell's statement is more relevant today than ever, and a lot more deception is on the way. And this is by Michael Snyder on End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder. About the author, Michael Snyder's extremely controversial new book entitled Chaos is available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 7 other books that are available on Amazon, including End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News. And he always freely and happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.